Growing up, I remember vocabulary always being something that was really boring. I would get a set of words sent home with me, and my mom would quiz me on them every week so that I would do good on the quiz that I had on them. That's why I was really struck when Gunning was talking about the fact that it's important to make vocabulary enjoyable to children. He says that in school, words are used to instruct, correct, and direct, but they should also be used to have fun. Which I think that this is really important, and I'm noticing that in my placement right now is just the disengagement when it comes to vocabulary. So I went to the website that Gunning featured called funbrain.com. And this is one of the games that I found called Word Confusion, and it goes through and shows you different words that have that different meanings. So it kind of, yeah, it's really interesting. I'll go through it a little bit now. What students have to do in the game Word Confusion is complete the sentence with the appropriate word. For this example, it says, I got a blank of gloves for Christmas. So the student has to distinguish which pair they use, either the pair that they eat or a pair as in that they have two of something. So if the student were to get this correct, they would pick the pair when they have two of something. Another good thing about this is that it allows students to learn about this skill in actual context of a sentence, which is really nice too. What's also nice about this game, Word Confusion, is that students can move along at their own pace. If the other level was a little too easy for them, they can move on to a harder level such as this. This sentence says Alan wants to blank the turkey, and the two words are baste and based. So if you were talking about something in the context of Thanksgiving, this could work out really well because you can relate it to the sentence, and the student would choose based, B-A-S-T-E, for this answer. This is another game that I found on FunBrain called What's the Word? What I really like about this game is that you can choose the topic of the words that you want the students to work with. So you can do alphabet, animals, fruit, tools, machines, or shapes. So you can cater what the students are learning with the vocabulary based on what you're teaching them in class. Also, it could be used for something that they're related to at home. Gunning talks about making vocabulary be relatable to students. So this is a really easy way that you can do that in a fun game form that's going to help them learn. So for this example, I chose the category of animals just because I know I have a student in my placement who really loves to talk about animals. So yeah, what they would do is they would look at the photo of what's ever on the screen, and then they would choose the corresponding word that goes along with the photo. This is really helpful because Gunning talks about students being able to relate a picture and using visuals, especially from a young age, to relate it to vocabulary, so they can do that here. This is another example of a subject that I chose off of What's the Word. I chose to do shapes this time because I think it would be a really cool way to relate shapes when you're teaching students about them in class to how to build their vocabulary when teaching them about them. So what's really nice is that they can look at the photo and they could count that it has 8 sides in this case, and then they would have to know what the word octagon would look like, and then they would choose octagon to be able to move on to the next one. It's really nice that they can relate the classroom content to a game that they can have fun doing. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope that this is a website you can use in your future classroom to help your students learn vocabulary.